hairstylist and salon manager. So today we're going to be talking about some myths and beliefs that people talk about all of the time about hair. So some of these points that we're going to be talking about today are things that I found online and things that I hear all the time in the salon. So let's either prove that some of these myths are true and debunk them. Let's go. I have dandruff. So this is something I hear coming from a lot of my clients that they have dandruff. So dandruff is actually super rare. It's caused by a fungus called Malassezia, I can never pronounce it, but it's Malassezia globose. And basically what dandruff is oily flakes of skin that fall from your scalp, and it's actually really hard to get off your clothes and stuff like that. So what a lot of people have that they refer to as dandruff is dry scalp. So dry scalp is actually super treatable. Your scalp is like the rest of the skin on your body. So if you have dry skin on your face, what do? You exfoliate, cleanse, and then moisturize. So your dry scalp requires the same treatment. So just giving it a really good brush before you shampoo it, shampooing all those flakes away, and then putting a really good hydrating conditioner is definitely going to help. I oftentimes get really bad dry scalp in the winter time, as do most people. And what I do is I have a wide tooth comb in my shower, and I just like to brush that conditioner through and get that scalp nice and moisturized. I got my hair lightened 2 months ago, and now my hair is fried. So this is something that I talk to most of my blonde clients about. So when we lighten hair, what we do is we remove all the pigment out of the hair and then fill the pigment back in with toner. So toner is a demi-permanent color which gradually fades over time. So usually it's around the 4 to 6 week mark where that toner is starting to almost completely fade. And that's what makes your hair feel super dry and brittle and fried, as what some people like to call it. So what I recommend to my clients is every 6 to 8 weeks, when that point starts to hit where the toner's completely faded out, it's super important to come in and you can just get a quick toner. It's an hour-long service and it's a lot cheaper than doing the big job every single time your hair's starting to feel that way. So no, your hair is not fried, it's just thirsty and it just needs some color. Not getting your hair cut so it will grow faster. So this is something that I run into quite often with my new clients, but most of my clients that are my regular clients, I pound it into their head that I want to see them every 3 to 4 months for dusting off a trim. So basically what happens as time goes on, your ends get super brittle. Just from environment, heat styling, brushing, just your day-to-day maintenance of it. And what will happen is those ends get super dry and they end up breaking. So when I have clients that come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't had my hair cut in a year and it's not growing and stuff, it's like, no, it is growing, but your ends are breaking off. So if you're going a year or longer than that, you're not going to see the new growth because it's taking 1 step forward and 3 steps back. So make sure you come in to see your stylist every 3 to 4 months just to get half an inch or an inch taken off, because that will make a huge difference in keeping your ends nice and strong, and you will notice your hair growing a lot quicker. Don't wash your hair before a color so the color will take better. This is actually false. So a lot of people sometimes will come in and they haven't washed their hair for a few days. It's not a bad thing, but it definitely won't enhance the tone of the color or how much it will deposit. One thing it will do is actually create a little bit of a barrier to the chemicals that are in the color. So if you wash your hair the day before you get your hair colored, you might find some tingling on your scalp because from the scrubbing of your shampoo, you actually create microscopic little abrasions on your scalp. So putting a chemical on top of that can create tingling on your scalp. So it actually is beneficial for you and your comfort to not wash your hair a couple days before color service, but it doesn't help the performance of the color in any way, shape, or form. I think my hair is thinning out. I'm shedding so much. So this is definitely a fear for a lot of people. On average, we actually lose 100 hairs a day. So don't worry, it's completely normal. And people who have thicker hair would lose probably a little bit more than that. And people who have finer hair will lose less. As well as people with super long hair, each strand seems like a lot more than someone with shorter or medium length hair. So if it's coming out in clumps, it's just a lot of hair. So don't worry, unless you're seeing bald spots on your head, you are completely normal. The dirtier your hair is, the faster it will grow. So this is one that I found online that I've never heard of before, but it's definitely not true. If your hair is dirty and you're getting a buildup of oils on your scalp, it's going to actually clog the hair follicles, which will create a very unhealthy environment for hair growth. So do not have your hair dirty if you like super dirty. And when I say super dirty, I mean like once every 2 weeks. Like, do not be doing that. But that will definitely not promote hair growth. Just wash your hair. It is good to wash your hair every day. So this is a great follow-up myth for the myth that we were at before. Yes, it's not good to have super dirty hair, but it's also not good to have super clean hair that you're washing every single day. What that can cause is quite oily hair. Basically what you're doing is when you're washing your hair every day, you're washing all your natural oils away. And then that makes your body think, oh my gosh, they're dry. So then the production of natural oils start to speed up, which will create more oiliness in your hair, which will then make you want to wash your hair more. So if you are someone who is washing your hair every single day and you find that your hair is oily by the end of the day, just leave it for a few days, suffer through the oiliness for about a week, and then that way it'll allow your body to stabilize and start to produce the natural oils at a more normal rate. One thing you can do during this painful week process is just using some dry shampoo at the root. It's not going to wash the oils away, but it will soak them up so they're not as noticeable anymore. Stress causes gray hairs. So this one's kind of true, but it's kind of not true. Stress can cause gray hairs. A lot of times it can cause banding on the hair. So if you're going through a really stressful time and then that stressful time's over, I can usually see right at the root, like, oh, did you have like exams 3 months ago? And they'd be like, how did you know? Like, it's because it will literally cause a banding, but your hair, that strand will go right back to being pigmented again. But the main cause to gray hairs is actually genetics, unfortunately, and you can thank your mom for that. So if you want to see what your hair future holds, just look on your mom's side, if they're primarily gray, or if the men on the mom's side of the family is balding, then you can expect that if you're a man. But yeah, you get your hair attributes from your mother's side, unfortunately, and stress has nothing to do with making your hair more gray or less gray. Don't condition your hair if your hair is oily. So this one definitely isn't correct. Conditioner is mainly for your ends, and if you're getting too much conditioner on your roots, then yes, it's going to make your hair oily, but definitely want to just focus the conditioner on your ends. There are definitely some people that just have overactive sebaceous glands that are creating too much of the natural oils, and that can be actually solved with a balancing shampoo and conditioner. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds out there. There's some that you can use until the problem is solved and then you don't have to use it anymore, but then there's some that you have to continue to use. And the best person to ask is your stylist for sure. But yeah, no, conditioner is good for everybody because it's just there to moisturize the ends, and not really focus too much on the roots, because that's your healthiest hair and it doesn't need conditioner. If you pluck your gray hairs, 2 more will grow back. So I'm not really sure where this particular myth came from. I know as a stylist I don't recommend plucking gray hairs, but not because 2 more will grow back, because it's not the case at all. Basically the reason why stylists tell you not to pluck out your gray hairs is because you are making that strand of hair start all over again with growing. So as that gray hair starts to grow back, it's going to grow back in a sprig, and it's going to make it a lot more noticeable. So that is the main reason why stylists don't recommend you plucking your gray hairs. Just leave them and color them when they need it. Box color is just as good as the salon. So I'm actually kind of sad that this is a belief of some people. Box color is definitely not better than salon color, unfortunately. Basically, the way that they formulate box color is a lot of their developers are 40 volume developer, and when I'm putting color on someone, I don't usually use anything over 20. And so anything over that for color is one, unnecessary, and two, can be completely harmful to the hair. So as well as I customize my formulas for different needs. So I'm gonna use 2 separate formulas for great coverage and just an all over gloss. So just leave the coloring to the professionals, please, especially at this time. Coconut oil, avocado, and eggs will make my hair healthier. So for this one, I actually educated myself on it. I always thought, you know, people doing these at-home DIY hair masks and stuff, it's like, whatever, it's all natural, so like what's the worst that could happen? But through my research, I learned that stuff like coconut oil and avocado and eggs and stuff, the molecules in these ingredients are actually too big to even penetrate the hair. So yeah, it'll make your hair feel great for a couple of days, but it's not something that you want to use for the long term. You can find stuff like coconut oil as an ingredient in some hair products, but this coconut oil is a different grade. It's more of a higher quality and therefore creating a better result for you than your coconut oil for cooking or your eggs for your scrambled eggs, so just save it for breakfast. If you're wanting to treat your hair, just go to a salon and buy a hair mask. It is important to switch your shampoo and conditioner regularly. So this belief, I kind of believed myself for a little bit and did my research again. We can always learn new things, and it's actually not true. Your hair will never become immune to something. I mean, I think what might happen is that your hair starts to require different needs that your current shampoo might not be fulfilling. So in that case, yes, absolutely you want to change your shampoo and conditioner, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's working for you, then just continue. Don't feel like you have to force yourself to change different types of shampoo and conditioner. It's not necessary. You can't color your hair when you're pregnant. So this is actually a super myth. It's not true. You can definitely color your hair when you're pregnant. Basically what happens is that the amount of ammonia and chemicals in the color is not enough to penetrate to the point that it's a risk. And especially if you're getting something like highlights or anything like that, that is that the chemical's in a foil, so it won't even be touching your scalp. And as far as ventilation in salons go, you won't be inhaling enough to make it a risk to you or your baby, so color away. Coloring will damage your hair. So like we talked about before with my blonde clients, that I always recommend that they come in 4 to 8 weeks after they get their blonding service done to fill the hair back up with the toner and make it feel healthier. And I have some clients that are actually virgin hair and they still come in and get a toner. Because what demi-permanent color can do is fill the hair and add shine and smooth the cuticle out, and it just overall enhances the look of the hair. So please, 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 please don't think the color damages your hair, because it doesn't. It depends on what kind you're using, and some color can be actually really good for your hair. I want to go platinum blonde. Can you just put bleach all over my whole head? If we could do this, a whole lot more people would be platinum blonde. Unfortunately, it's not realistic to try and make someone who is as dark as my natural, I'm a dark brown, go from that to this in one just throwing bleach on. What needs to happen when you are going from this dark to light is each piece of hair needs to be put into a foil in very small sections that are almost see-through. And why that is bleach does not spread. So wherever you're putting the bleach, that's where it's going to lighten. So if we're using small sections, the sections are going to be fully saturated and you're going to receive an even lift. That's why a lot of times when people do home bleaches and they're just throwing the bleach on, you get quite a spotty look because the bleach lives where you put it. And that's why you can get a more spotty look if it's not blended properly or if it's not fully saturated. So no, you cannot just slap bleach on hair and make it platinum. It's a long process. It's an expensive process, and it's worth doing 100%. My hair, for instance, I took about 8 months to get to this point, and it's still not where I want it to be. I still want to be quite a bit lighter, and I will get there eventually. But it takes time, patience, and if you're willing to do it, the outcome can be amazing. So that is all the myths that we are going to be covering today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had as much fun as I did making it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to message me on any of my social media platforms, or you can just leave a comment down below. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Love to see your support. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope to see you at the next one. Bye!